Welcome to Free Mind Reviews. This is Chris Johnson with a review of Spenser Confidential. So, Spenser Confidential is the fifth film from Mark Wahlberg and Peter Berg. Started out with Lone Survivor, then went on to Deepwater Horizon, Patriots Day, and Mile 22, and now we have this film. And unfortunately, this movie for me is a little more Mile 22 than those other films. Those first three I straight up consider to be great films. Lone Survivor, Deepwater Horizon, and Patriots Day. The ones that are based on real life events and almost like he's trying to mix Michael Mann with Paul Greengrass in a way. And I like that. And I liked Peter Berg's direction, execution, and passion for those films. Um, Mile 22 sucked. Mile 22 sucked and had awful, awful, awful cinematography and editing and action. You had my man from the raid doing what he does, and you can barely see it, and it was a disgrace. And when you have a movie that's plot is not really anything special for an action movie, you come in to see at least some great action, and you couldn't even get that. And mind you, I've liked Peter's action movies from the past. I like Hancock, even despite his flaws. Loved The Rundown. Loved The Kingdom. What the hell was this? So, going into this, and it being a Netflix movie, I'm like, okay, all right, we'll see. And honestly, it has its fun moments, but overall, it's not really there. And one of the reasons why it's there is, once again, it has a messy, convoluted, whatever plot that is kind of both all over the place and completely unoriginal. It deals with an ex-cop who's actually coming out of jail after serving 5 years for beating up a corrupt cop. I'm like, 5 years? Jeez, for that. And after two other cops are murdered, he decides to do his own investigation. Um, First off, there were moments where I didn't know whether to laugh or to be annoyed. There's a female lead character in here who is absolutely, positively, uncompromisingly annoying to me. And then I tell you, man, if you flip the genders on that darn relationship, you start hearing problematic. you know, she's just annoying in her exaggeration of the Boston accent. Oh my lord. Um, Winston Duke plays Homeboy's basically his partner, who is his forced roommate, and he almost comes into the main plot in such a sloppy way, and it was almost like in a hey, you want to help me out manner, which is, I mean, I don't like you and you can't punch for shit. Can you help me out? It was a little weird. Characters do very, very stupid things. Alan Arkin's character in particular does something so stupid that it made me almost turn Netflix off. Um, the Let's be honest, the main conspiracy and who's responsible is so predictable, because who else was gonna be responsible? Let's be honest. Look at the set of characters we had. You knew who was the scum. Um, and honestly, this is another one where I feel like the action has some problems, even though it's not edited as obsessively as Mile 22. At the same time, you know, it doesn't really take advantage and gives its fights its full potential. You got a guy having to fight off with a bunch of freaking 5, 6 dudes with coming at him with machetes. That should be an awesome fight. It really should. It should be an awesome fight. It doesn't have to be a martial arts fight to be an awesome fight. It just should be an awesome fight. Dude fighting for his life, especially a dude who supposedly is so good at fighting, but yet because he gets jumped in all the fights, gets his ass kicked all the time. But it didn't work, and the final fight was kind of a joke. Not very well done at all. It was almost like they were like, "We only have 2 minutes. Let's just shoot this and get it over with," and that was very disappointing. Also, like you said, I'm very familiar with Peter Berg's career as a director. You know, whether it's the ones I really love, like the first three Mark Wahlberg movies he's made, Lone Survivor, Deepwater Horizon, Patriots Day, or some other films like Friday Night Lights, or The Rundown, or Kingdom, or Hancock, which I like. Um, and even the ones that are like even a weak one like Battleship. Um, you expect a certain visual sense and visual look from his work, and this movie is so bland looking. This sucker looks like a TV movie. This is not the first time Netflix has made a film with a director that I like, and the film isn't really up to par with his other work look wise. Uh, and it affects this more than that other one. 22 July, which is from Paul Greengrass. I love Paul Greengrass, and I think that's still a very 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 good film. But there was something a little bit not as qu- you know, up to par with his look, whether it's the Bourne movies he's made, or Captain Phillips, or United 93, or Green Zone. There's a certain look to his work that, while you had his number one style of the way the camera shakes and the way the edits are in the frame, there was something about the quality of the lighting and the cinematography and the camera that was not up to par to me with Paul's other work. And this is the second time, for me anyway, that a director that I like has done a Netflix movie and it doesn't look like one of his movies. Like, it looked like a TV movie. It really, like, go ahead and look at Peter Berg's other movies and look at this. Even his bad movies, look at them and look at this. They don't register at all. They don't. They really freaking don't. Um, and then it is weird because, like, The Irishman looks like Scorsese, definitely, and Rodrigo did a fantastic a job with his Oscar-nominated cinematography. And then you look at Six Underground, and Six Underground looks like a Michael Bay movie. It really does. But here, Peter Berg almost. Where was he in this movie? I didn't see him. I didn't see him. The tone was a little weak. The plot, the mess is all over the place. The action could have been better. And I feel like the only person having fun, knew what movie he was in, was Mark Wahlberg. I don't know. So for me, after going 3 for 3, now Mark and Peter are 3 for 2, and I hope if they do a sixth film, it'll be please be more up to par with those first three, because this is a little bit of a disappointing road y'all are in, and I hope you get better, because Spenser Confidential, wasn't it?